So let's move further on up the card here. So this is the fight that I actually think that whoever wins the Royval Joshua Van fight is going to fight the winner of this one, and that's Alexander Pantoja, the champion. Right now minus 250. He's going to go ahead. He's going to take on KaraFrance. Gene, I'll let you go first on this one. Co-main event. How you feeling about Pantoja KaraFrance?
Yeah, it's a good fight. We like I said earlier, the division's a little bit thin. These two fought like earlier in their career on the Ultimate Fighter, and Pantoja, won that fight. But we're years past that. So they're two different fighters. KaraFrance is really well rounded. Whereas before he was mainly just a striker. That's what he's looking to just box you up in there, and he's worked really well on his at least his takedown defense and some of his some of the grappling. He's not. I definitely. I would definitely say he still wants to just stand with you and just trade. He's not really looking to grapple, but he does have that in his tool bag if he needs it. And then Pantoja, I mean, what's there to say about him? He's incredible, man. I feel like he's one of the most talented UFC champions right now. The guy is just beyond well rounded, incredible power on the feet for the division, and or sneaky power, I should say. And then the grappling is just out of this world. I mean, he'll backpack you for 5 rounds if he needs to, looking for submissions, and just I just like his personality, man. He's just a gamer, He's been in so many wars, but he's always in a fight, and his opponent always has to worry, no matter where the fight is being taken place. So. Yeah, I think it's a good co-main event. There's a couple other co-main events I would have liked instead, but UFC is struggling with stars right now. I think they definitely wanted John Jones up there against Aspinall in the main event, which probably would have pushed down the main event that we currently have down to co-main event. But that it is what it is, especially when you're working with John Jones. So back to this fight, though. Yeah, I think it's gonna be an action-packed fight for as long as it lasts. KaraFrance, like I said, is going to look to just kind of box and keep Pantoja at range, not let him make it a chaotic fight, which he typically does. And Pantoja is definitely willing to strike and has no problem to strike, but he's going to use the striking to eventually get in on KaraFrance and try to get him down and lock up a submission. There are some people that I know that are taking a shot on KaraFrance. I understand it. I mean, I do think, like I said, I think he's gotten better. I think he's had some pretty good performances. I know, like Steve Erceg, whatever. Steve Erceg went the distance with Pantoja, but Steve Erceg has shown like that was a fluke, man. It kind of reminds me of Juliana Pena, beating Nunes. It was just a fluke, and then you see the rematch, and she gets destroyed. And Steve Erceg, same thing. Everyone was kind of jumping on that train. Oh man, he went 5 rounds with Pantoja, and then since then you've seen him kind of fall off. And KaraFrance took him out in the first round, and it was good for him to get that. Even though I'm slightly talking trash about Steve Erceg, it was a big win to knock him out in round 1 because he had a couple losses before that. He lost to Bazi, which, that's kind of questionable. It was a split decision loss. Some people thought KaraFrance won. And then he fought Brandon Moreno, and he was looking good in that fight. It was a title fight against Moreno. He was looking good until he took a nasty body kick. And so he was on a 2 fights skid, so it was nice for him to beat that Erceg, get some confidence. But at the end of the day, man, I think you see those 2 losses, and I think that's who KaraFrance is. I think he's just kind of a middling flyweight. He's a guy that you want to face against. You have like a Joshua Van beats Royval. Go ahead and give him a KaraFrance. I think it's a great matchup. Outside of that, I don't think he's super talented. I don't think he's a champion. I just don't. And Pantoja is just too good, man. So I am very tempted because this line has dropped. Because, like I said, a lot of people are liking that plus 200 on CaraFrance. I might just lay it with Pantoja here as we get closer to fight night. I think it's down to like minus 120, or pardon me, 220, something like that. It's been dropping. It was as high as like 260. So I might just lay it on Pantoja. I think Pantoja gets Moreno, or pardon me, not Moreno. I think he gets CaraFrance out of here. I think he submits him probably in the second or third round.
All right, good breakdown there, Gene. I'm with you 100% here. Look, here's the thing with CaraFrance that scares me. That there have been a lot of fights over the last couple of years that you would have thought like he's not winning that fight, and then there he is standing on the top rope screaming because he just KO'd some dude. That's the only thing that really worries me here. I don't think that these two are on the same talent level. CaraFrance has 11 losses in his career, so it's not like this guy hasn't lost to the best of the best, and even the mediocres of the mediocres. Like CaraFrance is one of those guys. I think that he gets lucky at times with end up being able to go ahead and land that big shot. Kind of reminds me of like Joshua Van. Like they kind of remind me of the same kind of fighter, believe it or not. And Pantoja's just not that guy. Like he's going to go out there. I think he's going to look to go ahead and get CaraFrance down and probably wear him down. I don't have a problem laying the minus 250 with Pantoja, but I'm probably going to end up using him in a parlay. I'm probably going to end up putting him with Terence McKinney, who's on the prelim. He's going to go and take on Borishev. Now, McKinney, he got slept in his last fight. He got kicked right in the head and knocked out, but I think he's probably going to end up wanting to go ahead and be in there with a guy that's looking to go ahead and punch, and Borishev will give him that fight. So I think Terrance McKinney will go ahead and he'll get that win. So he's like a minus 170. I'll put him with Pantoja, who's minus 250, and somewhere right around even money. So I'll go ahead. I'll do that. But yeah, I don't know with CaraFrance. Like, is Pantoja going to go out there and try to just go ahead and stand and end up losing his title because he's being stubborn? Pantoja could take a punch. Like, there's one thing. I don't even know if CaraFrance could even knock him out. Like, I'm sure you agree there, Gene. Pantoja has maybe one of the best chins in the entire division. So I'm not necessarily sure that CaraFrance can knock him out, but can he wrestle with Pantoja? I don't think so. I honestly don't. CaraFrance has been submitted already 3 times in his career. So I don't know. It doesn't feel like a fight that's going to really deliver. I think this could be one of those co-main events where, like you were saying there, Gene, Pantoja could just end up going, you know what, this is the way I have to win, ride this guy out for 5 rounds or whatever the case might be, and that's what I'm going to do. And yeah, there's no way I'm taking CaraFrance. There's just no way. I'm not going to do it. I think he's going to get submitted. I forget what the submission price was on that. It might have been like plus 250 or plus 230. It was somewhere in that area. So I'm going to do Pantoja with McKinney in a parlay, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take this one to I'm going to go ahead and take this with Pantoja to go ahead and win by submission. That's where I'm at with that fight. Don't think it's going to be as competitive as some might think. So